It's a lovely home, it's a lovely feel to the place, and the less I did to it, the better, I thought.
We would hope that anybody that stays at Newforge would feel very relaxed and actually like it's their home for the duration of their stay.
It's a beautiful place to come to, but what makes it so special is that you're treated specially.
It's always a lovely family home, and it's been in the family for generations, but it's just too big to be a family home, and really to stay in the family had to pay for itself, had become a business. With no heating, hadn't been decorated in a long time. It lent itself perfect for it, but it took 2 years to do it up, and 5 years ago we opened it up as a guest house, as it is now. Yeah, we've got 6 rooms, and instead of naming them 1 to 6, my dad had the idea of using 6 generations that lived here, the maiden names of
female that married into
yeah.
We used as much of the existing furniture as possible and tried very much to keep the feel of it being more domestic than, say, corporate. We very much introduce ourselves as ourselves. We try to treat the guests as individuals as well as much as possible, so it's almost like it's their house when they're here, and they're not some anonymous person.
As soon as you arrive, when we were here, you were brought coffee and homemade biscuits, and it's just gorgeous. You feel at home, but in luxury. I think the experience of Newforge is such a beautiful place. Furnishings, gardens, everything about the place are just gorgeous. And John is a wonderful chef, so you know you're going to get marvellous food when you come here.
I've trained as a chef. In the kitchen, it's literally I'm a one-man band, so I do everything. At Newforge, we like to offer very, very simple food. It's seasonal, locally produced, and don't mess around with really good ingredients. Right at the start, it was a case of, you just muck in between the two of us. Roles are very blurred. I mean, you can't have anything definitely set specifically, in something this size. You just have to be, hands-on and do bits and pieces of everything. As we've developed, and Lou's had 2 kids, then obviously we'll be able to get more staff in, and the front of house roles have been taken up by Ethna.
Coming to work in Newforge House with John and Louise, I was made to feel very much part of the team, and I was given very much ownership of my job, so that I was allowed to take responsibility off front of house, and John just let me get on with doing what I needed to do. He also would have asked my advice on how to do things and how they do things here as opposed to other places where maybe I've worked before, and how I would do things. The attention to detail is great here, from housekeeping to customer service. We try and sort of observe guests to see what they want and what they like, whether they want us, to have a big part of their stay, or to stand back and let them just enjoy the relaxing experience that it is here. The customer service philosophy in Newforge House would be, we go the extra mile as a norm rather than the exception. When John and I were looking at the Tourism Awards the first year that we entered it, we were reading examples of things that places do to go the extra mile for guests, and we did say, well, they're the things that we do normally for people here. If they prefer to have herbal teas, for example, after dinner, we'll make sure then that we'll pop some herbal teas into their room on the courtesy tray. Just anything we can do to make their stay more enjoyable and to just give them a 5-star experience. Last week, for example, we had customers who were on their honeymoon, and they were interested in Irish linen and Ulster linen, and they thought they'd like to bring back a tablecloth as a souvenir. So we researched it and found possibly the best place to go, and printed them out some directions and opening hours, so they'll be able to take home their linen with them.
The pillow menu, I've never seen that before. Maybe that's not that unusual, but I haven't seen it before. Where you have a choice of like feather pillows, or man-made if you're allergic to feather, or these ones that mould themselves to your shape, and you have a choice of pillows when you get here, and chocolates on your bed.
Blue Book, Ireland's Blue Book, was a great
Benchmark.
Yeah. We sort of looked upon it as hopefully, and that's something to aspire to. And we'd stayed in a couple of places.
And we went specifically
and stayed in places which we felt were the sort of thing we were trying to make out of Newforge, and Newforge would fit with, and stayed there and looked at what they were doing and what we felt we could do that we liked that they were doing, so we really used the Blue Book as our benchmark, and then we were lucky enough to be asked to join the Blue Book only a year after opening. So
We're quite small, so there's only certain things you can do marketing wise. You can't market everywhere and attract everybody. It's not viable.
the NITB award, we make sure we go in for that every year now, and we've been lucky enough to win the category each year since we've entered it. So that has spin-off publicity. On a day-to-day basis, our website would be our main source of marketing. We don't do an awful lot of paid for advertising because that doesn't reap too much benefits for a small place like ours. Word of mouth, actually, again, being a small business, that works well for us. We get lots of parties and private hires that way, so we would be a wee bit different maybe from a lot of places in the respect of how the marketing is done.
I'm not sure I could sum Newforge up in one word because it's such a special place. You're treated wonderfully. The surroundings are glorious. I just don't think you could get better anyway.
I really enjoy doing what I do, so it's very easy then just to put that into practice, and every guest that comes here are treated as a guest, as you would a guest in your own home, so you make things as comfortable as possible and as enjoyable as possible for them.
It's really just us, our home, but really it's a sort of a home from home feel, hopefully, and we just look after people.